right, hello everybody. I have returned from NAIC, as you can tell, and I have also returned with another booster box for me to open right here. Now, I have a lot to talk about today, mostly about the tournament, but before I open this box, I do want to show off some of the things I got at the tournament. I have 3 plushies I want to show off because obviously NAIC has the Pokemon Center, all of the internets and worlds have Pokemon Centers. I got this freaking amazing Mega Metagross shiny plush. It's a re-release because they've been doing a ton of re-releases for, Mega merch. Like I have a shiny Mega Rayquaza plush off to the side over here. So I made sure to pick this up because Mega Metagross was my boy back in 2015, 2018. It was one of probably my favorite Mega Pokemon to use in VGC, so I had to make sure to pick this up. Additionally, I also got this freaking goofy looking Miraidon plush. This is actually not from the Pokemon Center. I got this from the prize wall from playing inside events at NAIC. To be honest, I'm not that big of a fan of this plush. I think Miraidon looks kind of goofy in its bike form. But I don't own a Miraidon plush. I would have preferred, either of, one of these 2 plushies that I'll show on screen right here. The doll or in its normal form. I'd prefer those, but hey, I've been using Miraidon nonstop in VGC. I used it at the tournament, and there really wasn't anything better for me to get, so I picked this up. And finally, I also got, well, I didn't get this. It's more like I found it. This Marshtomp puppet, shove your arm up its bum, and yeah, it's Marshtomp. Hello, everybody. This is kind of an awkward angle for me to play around with it. This was just kind of on the floor. I was just talking with some friends, and somebody pointed out that there's this poor little Marshtomp on the floor, abandoned. And I was gonna return it to Lost and Found, but this was like at the end of the tournament, and it just kind of never happened. So I ended up keeping it. So if anybody lost a Marshtomp at NAIC this year, I have it, and I am willing to return it. But otherwise, this guy is now mine. So yeah, I just wanted to show off those 3 plushies that I got at Nats. Let's crack open this box. So yeah. As you've read from the title, I almost top cut NAIC. I ended up finishing 63rd, so right within the top 64 bubble. If you place within the top 64, you get a booster box. Below that, you get only a portion of a booster box. So I was, very happy. For one thing to say that, hey, I finished top 64 at NAIC. Because with how big these tournaments are nowadays, top 64 is pretty good. And pretty happy. Wait, oh shit. Oh, dude, it's like crimped. I guess, what is the word? Is it crimped? It's got that crinkle cut. Oh, damn. Oh, dude, if this box has like a ton of cards like this, that's actually huge. I like collecting these, I guess it's technically a misprint. Wow, okay. So I'm definitely gonna separate this Relor card off to the side. Yeah, that's going into my misprints binder. It looks like that's the only card in this pack that was printed like that. Yeah. Okay, what was I talking about? So yeah, I finished top 64 NAIC, very strong finish. I went, I played 12 rounds, won 9 of them, lost 3 of them. But the reason why I say I almost top cut is because I was at my last round. I was X2 going into my last round, which means you're winning in, as it's called. So you win and you're in top cut, which is the final stage of the competition. You play your day 1 Swiss rounds, and then everybody who's gone X2 or better, they go into day 2 and they play additional Swiss rounds. And then finally, anyone who's still X2, oh, nice, dude. Again, like with the last box, just right off the bat, I'm getting some really nice cards. I really haven't looked at what all is in this set. Obviously, I know there's like Team Rocket stuff, the Ethan's cards, Cynthia cards, and I think there's like Arvin cards. Yeah, but I haven't really looked at the alternate arts. In my last video, I was talking about how I really like Crustle as a Pokemon. So yeah, I will happily take this beautiful Crustle card. Put it right there off to the side. And we got a very nice Articuno by, again, Mitsuhiro Arita. So that will also be going in one of my binders. But yeah, so you play your day 2 Swiss rounds. Anybody who's still X2 at the end of those rounds go into top cut. So I was X2 going to my last round. And I won my first game because you play a best out of 3. You know, win 2 games out of the 3 games and you win the round. So I was up a game. I won it pretty confidently because I had actually played that same team in day 1. I lost versus it, but I had an idea of what to do, now that I had played the matchup. So I won game 1 pretty confidently. Game 2, it came down to an end game where I thought he would protect a Pokemon, so I went for a spread move to knock out the Miraidon, and if the Calyrex didn't protect, I would damage it as well. And I thought, okay, I think this is safe. I think I can probably win in like a Calyrex 1v1. It's kind of hard to explain this if you don't know competitive Pokemon. Basically, I went for like a mid-ground play that was kind of safe, and I just hoped that it would be enough to win me the game, even if he went for like a more aggressive play. But sadly, it did not work out. I kind of had to attack into his Pokemon that I thought would potentially protect. If I attacked into it, it would have also been awkward because both his Calyrex and my Calyrex were speed tying, which means they had the exact same speed stat. So in those scenarios, it's literally a coin flip on whose Pokemon will move first. Ooh, got a nice new Yukamori card, Smoliv. Not really a Pokemon I care about, but Yukamori is the GOAT, so put that off to the side. So yeah, it's a coin flip on whose Pokemon would move first. And sadly, yeah, our Calyrexes were speed tying. So I would have had to get that call correctly, and then I would have had to win the speed tie on my Calyrex moving first. And if I knocked out his Calyrex, I would win the game. So it was a lot of what ifs right there. So let's just say, okay, I got the call right, but then I lose the speed tie, whatever. Game 3, literally turn 1, I could have just won the game. Because I had like an option to, by the way, I see a card in here. Arben's Mabosstiff. Yeah, there's Arben cards in this set. I think last time I made a small little joke at the end of the video how they kind of just put Hop in the set, and I really don't care about Hop. Arben's cool. Arben's cool. So I will take this Mabosstiff. But yeah, I had a way to basically win this set, or yeah, the game like on turn 1. But it would have been a very high. It was a high risk, high reward type of play, and I just thought there's no way he's gonna let me do this. I thought he would preserve like, oh, this is a really nice looking Ogerpon card. Yeah, and it's by I don't know how you say that, but I really like their art, so I'm gonna separate this Ogerpon. So it was a high risk, high reward type of play that I could have gone for. And I thought, okay, he's gonna preserve his Miraidon. He has an easy Pokemon he could essentially sacrifice that it's not that needed in the matchup. And I thought he was gonna go for that, so I ended up going for like a different play. Sadly, he ended up staying in with his Miraidon, and it kind of just snowballed from there, where I basically lost on turn 1. Oh, this is a really nice Nidoking. I love Nidoking as a Pokemon, so yeah, this is very nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, so it kind of just snowballed from there. From how he played earlier in the set, like especially, I think it was like game 1 or 2, he went for like a really aggressive play. I should have picked up on that. It's like, okay, he's gonna play this a bit more aggressively. And if I, kept that in mind in that game 3, it's like, no, he's gonna think This is another nice, really nice Ogerpon. What the heck? Nice little double rock pawn action going on here. Yeah, this is a very cute Ogerpon. What the hell? Okay, I'm putting that off to the side. But yeah, if I kept that in mind, it's like he's gonna, you know, play this aggressively. He's gonna think that I'm gonna think that, oh, he has to preserve Miraidon. He's, you know, he's gonna swap it out. So I'm gonna do the other play that takes that into account. So that's kind of like the mind games going on there. It's a nice Rotom. But then he would have thought, I was like, okay, well, that's kind of like the obvious play. So instead, I'm gonna subvert those expectations and stay in with Miraidon. And yeah, I could have just read that. Oh, how appropriate. So yeah, it was Annihilate. Yeah, so in BGC, this Pokemon, you give it a Choice Scarf, and it fires off a really fast Final Gambit, which I will put an explanation on screen for the full details if you don't know what the hell Final Gambit is. But basically, you sacrifice your Pokemon's life to do that amount of HP to the opposing Pokemon. And because Annihilate has a really high HP stat, it's basically able to one-shot a lot of the format. So in VGC right now, there's restricted Pokemon, like, you know, like Ubers. You know, Pokemon that you see on the box art of Pokemon games. A really high, powerful Pokemon, if you knock them out, you know, that's huge advantage for you. So just being able to sacrifice Annihilate for just any one restricted Pokemon, potentially, that's a lot of value. So that's what I was trying to do. Yeah, this is a really cool Annihilate card. So I'm gonna also separate this. So if I had just fired off that Final Gambit, you know, keeping that in mind from how he was playing the set earlier, I would have won that, you know, that game basically on turn one, just from the resources that I had versus the resources he had. I would have still had to play the game a bit, but it would have been heavily in my favor, and I would have top cut NAIC with that, because I would have gone into the top cut stage with an X&2 record, and I would have I would have won at least $2,000. I wasn't even thinking about that when I was playing my final round. It's like, oh, this is like a $2,000 money match. Like whoever wins this wins 2K. But the more important thing is that I would have been still in contention to get my Worlds invite. That's really what I was fighting for, because I had a bit of a mediocre season, kind of in the middle there. Like, ooh, oh shit, oh damn, yo, this Houndoom's freaking gas. Holy shit. Dude, this Houndoom's fucking awesome. Oh, damn. Okay. Nice. We got a Hydrapple. I like Hydrapple. So yeah, what I was really fighting for is, you know, to get my Worlds invite, because I had kind of a mediocre season at the in the middle there. As soon as the format shifted to the current format that we have right now, I've been doing, I would say, pretty well. Besides day one of Milwaukee Regionals, but we don't talk about that. So yeah, I needed a nice Yanmega. I would have technically, going to a tournament, I would have needed a top 16 most realistically. So I would have had to top cut the tournament, then win my top 32 match. And if I won that, that would have locked up my invite. However, with how things panned out, if I had top cut, which I was very close to doing so, and if I had lost my top 32, and I think, if I'm correct, because my, look at that. Ethan's Adventure Full Art. I actually quite like Ethan. So I will take this Full Art. And last time I got the who was that NPC that we got in the last box? Like Ruffian, just some random fucking NPC. And I was like, that's is lame. But Ethan's Adventure, I would take that. I don't even know if there are any female full arts in this set. Is there like a Cynthia full art in this set? I actually have no idea. The odd art of this card is very nice. It's very nice. But yeah, I'll happily take that. But yeah, with how it was panning out, if I had lost my top 32 set, I would have been at 945 points, which I would have been the highest rated player in terms of points in the United States and Canada, which for Pokemon purposes, for Worlds Invites, it's considered one region. So I would have been the highest rated player there, not to be within the top 80 or so players that would have been qualified for Worlds. Which is kind of insane to think about. But just recently, like 2 days ago, one of the players that wasn't that top 80 or so, he essentially kind of dropped out from the ratings because he said that he wouldn't be able to go to Worlds because he's having a kid around that time. So by dropping from the standings, that would essentially bump up the next highest person into the top 84 players or something, because it's top 75 plus people that auto qualified by winning a regional. And if I had top cut, I would have been that person. I would have been the next highest player, and I would have gotten my Worlds invite off of that. And I had no idea there were Steven's cards in this set. What the hell? Because I was just reading what it says on the back of the box. Look at that. It says Cynthia and Ethan, Arvin, and then I know there's all the Team Rocket shit. I had no idea there was a Steven cards. Metagross. We were showing off Metagross earlier. I fucking love Metagross. It's one of my favorite pseudo legendaries. Yeah, this is a really nice looking card. So it's I don't know. It's a lot to think about. On one hand, I feel incredibly proud of my performance this past week at NAIC. I've done well at NAIC before. 2 years ago, I got top 32, very close to getting top 16. If I got a bit unlucky my last round. I think I would have easily been able to win that game 1, and then I won game 2, and I would have finished top 16. But then again, I got lucky the previous round before that. But whatever. Keep it short, I was very close to getting top 16 that year. Last year, I just had an incredibly unlucky tournament. It was genuinely awful. It was a very awful tournament experience. I just needed any amount of points at Nats last year to get my Worlds invite, and I just got fucked sideways, bro. It was not great. So yeah, going into this tournament is okay, I need to redeem myself after last year. I need to fucking lock in to get my Worlds invite, and this is a really nice app though. Dude, there's a lot of nice cards. Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking. So I needed to fucking lock in for Nats, and I qualified for day 2. I went through the gauntlet in day 2, just facing back to back really strong opponents. And yeah, I was at my winning end, and I was just essentially calling one of either 2 coin flips correctly to make it into top cut. Which even if I top cut, lost, and didn't end up getting a Worlds invite, I still would have felt good, because I top cut Nats. Oh damn! Oh, oh shit. Okay, this is a very nice card. I said how I really like Nidoking. I hope this is not the full art or alt art slot of the box. I would really like an alt art from this box. But this looks very cool. This looks really nice. Holy shit. Nice. Yeah, if I top cut, didn't get the Worlds invite, I still would have been okay, I still feel content. I had after a lot of mediocre, tournament results, I finished the season on a high. I top cut what I'm pretty sure was the second largest modern VGC tournament. And and sure, I missed out on the invite again, but I had kind of a mediocre season in the middle there, and I just had to do better. I would have just had to do better, and yeah, so that was kind of my mentality going into it. And with how it is right now, I still it's not the worst feeling. Last year I felt pretty crappy about not qualifying and in the way that I did. This year it's I was 50 points away from being within those top 80 or so players, and I could have very easily gotten those points if I just done better in one of the GCs. I could have been 30 points higher in one of the GCs if I just stopped playing. GCs were online competitions that give points. And then I would have had to just day 2 like any of the other regionals that, you know, that I went to, which I very easily could have done so. It's just kind of a mix of sloppy play, a little bit of unluck, you know, not getting too lucky, but mostly kind of sloppy play. I could have easily day 2'd San Antonio or Atlanta. Should have day 2'd Monterey, but let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this beautiful Misty Psyduck. I was talking about like I really want a nice alt art from this box, and I think this is one of the more valuable ones. Not that I particularly care, just because I just like the card on its own, regardless of value. It's by Okacheke. I don't know how you say their name, but I really like their art. This beautiful Misty Psyduck. Shout out to the Psyduck puppet that my friend got. If you know, you know. But this is a very beautiful card. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite pull out of the box so far. Very nice. And we got a fucking fish at the end right here, Gorbis. You know, this is now that I'm looking at this is such a simple card. It's just Gorbis swimming in the middle of the, you know, wide open ocean. It's kind of serene. I actually really like this card. Like, it's very simple, but I really like it. That's going into my binder. You know, the binder of you know, cards that I really like. Basically all my cards go into a binder, but there's like a rare binder for, you know, whatever cards, and then the special binders. So yeah, that was my experience in Nats. Overall, I still feel incredibly proud. It does sting that I was incredibly close to being on winning $2,000. You know, being able to say that I top cut one of the largest tournaments ever, and, you know, getting my World's End Bite, which is, you know, that's a lot of things I missed out on. But again, skill issue. Should have just done better at, you know, in the middle of the season or any of the GCs. And yeah, we take this as a lesson, and we move on to the future. You know, I try not to think about, you know, the what ifs. It's like, hey, you know, we learn from them, and we move forward. And that's my mentality. But still, I'm still very happy with how the tournament went. We got a nice Akira Egawa card. It's going into the side. I really haven't been paying attention to which reverse foils we've been getting. So if there's any nice ones, I'll pick that up later. We got a Macargo, Slugma balls. I don't know. So I think that's everything I had to say about my experience at Nats. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. You know, at the end of the day, I'm glad I'm, you know, at the very least, able to open this booster box because I did well that weekend. Got a nice, cute little Ogerpon. Honestly, I might just collect all of the Ogerpons from this set. These are all very cute. We got Tyranitar, one of my favorite Pokemon. This is definitely going to the side. Got a nice Manectric and another Hydrapple. Cool. What else? Oh, the other thing that I wanted to talk about in this video, as we kind of reach the end of the booster box, is actually the camera that I'm using, because my, I guess to make a somewhat, I mean, it's not that long of a story, but basically 2 days or 3 days before I flew out to New Orleans, my fucking phone just died. Like, oh, this is a really cool Mewtwo. Damn, son. That's a really cool Mewtwo. Hell yeah. Yeah, my phone just fucking died while I was like grocery shopping. It's like, oh, that's weird. I guess I think I was trying to open like the app for when I was grocery shopping. It's like, oh, that's weird. My phone froze. I guess it's just the app being kind of crappy. Let me wait for it to work again, or, you know, turn off my phone, turn it back on. And then I was like, oh shit, this phone is still trying to boot up. It's not turning on. Oh god, we got a Dondozo. I really like Dondozo as a Pokemon. Fighting Dondozo Tatsugiri in VGC, fucking annoying. But, you know, Dondozo on its own, he's cool. So yeah, my phone just fucking died. I kind of realized it was a bigger issue than I initially expected. And the day after, I basically wasted the whole day going to like a repair shop and then going to T-Mobile, and then setting up my new phone to how it should be, just to, you know, kind of get it working again, because I couldn't transfer because my old phone's motherboard died. I think to fix it, you would basically have to reset, you know, the entire phone. So that data is just kind of stuck there, and the freaking you know, phone repair place that I went to, they kind of referred to me, you know, like a data, well, I guess how do you say it? Like recovery place, and I called. It's like, oh yeah, our cheapest tier is $700. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, you can send me the information and I'll look over it. It's like, hell no, I'm not paying $700 at the minimum to fucking restore what would have been like some photos, a couple like funny videos I had downloaded. Yeah, it's like that. It's not worth. So I had to basically start from scratch with a new phone, just re-downloading all the apps that I had before. And yeah, I wasted like all of my Tuesday just doing that. I was so stressed because then I only had Wednesday, like right before the tournament, to really, you know, get in some final prep. And I guess that kind of ties into me talking about NAIC, where it's like a fucking miracle that I did as well as I did, considering how like stressed I was like the days before. Yeah, and so yeah, I had to get a new phone, a much newer phone, and I'm using this to record the video. That's kind of the whole point of why I'm bringing it up, because it does 4K 60 FPS. My DSLR that I used to record my previous video and really all my other videos on my main channel, it does 4K, but it's only like at 24 FPS, and it's like super cropped, and I don't like using it. So I'm testing out my phone to record to see how it looks. And, you know, if it looks fine, if I'm content with this, then I'm just gonna be using this to record from now on. I did like a little test before this, and it sounded good. It looked good. You know, after my last recording, I saw there was still a little bit of reverb, you know, in the video, even after doing some post-production. So I also installed some foam panels this direction to help with, you know, with the acoustics in my room, in this part of the room. So I'm hoping that, you know, this video will look and sound much better. I also wasn't lazy and have lights on both sides right here, as you can tell. So just from looking at my phone right now, this looks pretty solid. What it does not look solid is this crappy pack, because I hate spit ops. One of my least favorite bug types. If you want to know more, watch my Scarlet and Violet video on my main channel. So yeah, if this video looks kind of different, that's why, because I'm using a different camera. Anyway, we're down to kind of the end of the box here. I have this pack right here, 2 packs, and I have a hidden pack right there. Yeah, I realized there was like a hidden pack. And we really haven't got anything too crazy, sadly, on like the last box where we had like the Articuno and the Ferret, those 2 cards that I really wanted to get. I guess spoilers. I guess spoilers for that video. Oops. I mean, the Articuno was like a couple minutes into the video, so, you know, whatever. I think our best hit from this box was Psyduck. The Psyduck, and I guess the Nidoking on a technicality by rarity. So yeah, not the craziest box, sadly, but I'm having fun. I'm pretty happy just using this also as an outlet to talk about my Nats run, because I was considering making a video out of it, because if I competed at Worlds, I would make a video out of that, obviously. If I didn't qualify, we got a Regirock. I'm still not gonna do the noises. The fucking Regirock noises. If I didn't compete, if I didn't qualify for Worlds, I'm still on the fence about going to spectate again. But yeah, it's like the odds of me making like a Pokemon tournament video this year is pretty low. It's like, okay, I might do a video out of my Nats run. in the end, just with how stressed I was, like the days heading into it, I chose not to bring my camera. I didn't film anything, and I think it would have made for a decent video considering how the tournament ended up going for me. But yeah, in the end, this one video of me opening this box is gonna be my one outlet just to talk about my tournament experience and how it went. So at least I have this as an opportunity. And yeah, this is our final pack. Looks like we're gonna end up a bit of a low note. We've got a Rock Ogre Pawn, and Team Rocket's Wobbuffet. Oof. So in the end, not the craziest box, but this was still a lot of fun. Yeah, that's it. That's right. Yeah, that's it. That's it for this box. I guess one final thing that I forgot to show off at the start of the video is I had already opened some packs of this set at Nats. From some 2 packs I got the prize wall and some other packs they were giving out during finals. And from one of those packs I got this Crobat EX. Nothing crazy, but yeah, just another additional card that I have from this set. So that's it. That's the video. That's the short story of how I almost top cut NAIC. And yeah, I will see you guys sometime in the future. I don't know what I'll open next, but hopefully you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.